Hello, good morning. So, today I want to encourage us to always tackle things as they come. Don't wait for things to get too serious before you start looking at it or start thinking about how to solve it. Start solving problems as they come, as you sense it. Start putting things in place that will either grow that problem or will reduce it. Because the more the problem or the situation gets deeper, the more time, the more resources, the more emotions will go into solving it. Don't wait. Stop playing. Most people play I don't care. They play so careless, and they play I don't care. You see that this thing is going bad. You see that something is happening, something is not going well. You say, well, it doesn't matter. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it. What will be will be. And before you know it, this thing, this small problem that would have using that would have used that would have been solved with a little conversation or a little money, you allow it to get so big that you will need a community to solve it. And by that time, it will not be easy to solve. For instance, in a relationship, you notice that your partner is being distant. You notice that your partner just started coming back home late. You notice that your partner is changing, is changing, talks to you anyhow. Somebody that gives you respect suddenly starts telling you get out, and you don't sit down to find out what is the problem. You don't sit down to find out. You don't ask questions. You don't go into conversations to know why things are going out of hand, why things are going out of normal. You don't pay attention. You allow this thing get so big. It gets so big in a way that there will be no solution for it. By then, you will be crying all day. By then, you will be crying. You will be calling community, calling family to come and talk. Imagine a husband that wasn't keeping late night, started keeping late night, and you are doing like you don't care. It doesn't bother you. You are noticing your spouse answering some calls, dodging and all that. You didn't pay attention. Not that if eventually tomorrow he brings up a baby to you, that you're going to enjoy it and going to be happy about it. Not that by tomorrow, if this spouse decides to bring another woman inside the house, that you won't be bothered. If you know that you'll be bothered about your husband bringing in another woman to the house, if you know that you will be bothered when he tells you that he wants to take a second wife, why won't you be bothered when things start changing, when you start seeing all those things, all those changes? You don't talk about it. Don't you think that when you talk about these things at the early stage, it might be possible that this person will retrace his or her step? It's possible that when you talk about it, you tell your spouse, look at what I'm noticing, this is what is happening, and know that this will be the end of something like this. I hope you are prepared to face the end of what you are starting. Bring it to their notice. Someone like me, I will always bring any changes to my partner. I always bring any changes that I notice, and I will ask him, please, I wouldn't want you to say sorry about it, about this thing that is happening. This will be the end of something like this. If it happens, be sure that this is your decision, that you decided to do this thing and you are doing it. Talk about it when it is small, and it will come to the consciousness of that your partner, that he's aware of what he's doing, that she's aware of what she's going into, and this is the result. It's not by the time the results start showing, you will be confused. You'll be behaving like you start saying sorry that cannot change anything. You cannot compare talking with somebody that is just starting up another relationship, or that just when it was at the greeting stage. You cannot compare it to when there is a baby involved, to when there is, conversation of having a second wife or going for a divorce. You can't compare it. Some of the things that leads to divorce these days are little things, little things that would have solved at that beginning stage, but due to negligence, some people neglect these things. They look at it as, well, it's just this thing, it's just this thing, it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. When you say it's not a big deal, it will graduate to a big deal, and it will take more to solve it when it is a big deal. Anything you cannot tolerate the end of it, there is no need playing with it at the start. If you know that the end of any action you are seeing, anything you are seeing, you are not ready for the consequences, for the end results, my dear, don't play with it. Tackle it as it comes. Tackle as it comes. Don't wait for it to get bigger before you start talking about it. Don't. Something that you are starting and you notice one or two things you can't cope with, it's easier for you to leave it than when you have invested so much. You have invested so much into that thing, and you are seeing the problem, but you refuse to notice it. By the end, that problem will still come up, and by then you will need so much to solve it, if at all it can be solved. So stop neglecting in your business, in your marriage, in your training your children. Like, when you don't discipline a child the way the child should be disciplined when he or she does something, they will take it that is normal. And tomorrow you call your son or your daughter and she said, leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me, and you didn't do anything about it. You said, okay, you just come and rub his head and say, okay, okay, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. You didn't say anything. You didn't treat it as if it is something. Tomorrow the child will tell you, get out. Next tomorrow it will increase. It will increase. You think that children that beat their parents, it starts from them waking up one day and started beating their parents. It started from small. It started from small. The parents were not able to correct it. Although there are ones that are to the extreme, sha. But please try to tackle as it comes, as little as it comes. Tackle. Thank you.